Ekpoma has become the center of a growing national conversation, one that raises serious questions about student welfare, civic expression, and the use of authority. Reports emerging from the area suggest that students who took part in protests in Ekpoma are being arrested and, in some cases, detained. These developments have sparked concern among students, parents, civil society groups, and observers across the country. What exactly is happening? Why were students protesting in the first place? And how did the demonstration reportedly lead to jail time? This is what we know so far. According to multiple accounts from students and witnesses, the protest began as a response to grievances that had been building for some time. While details vary depending on who you speak to, common themes include dissatisfaction with security, kidnapping cases. Students felt they were not safe again. Students say the protests were intended to draw attention to these issues and prompt dialogue. Demonstrations, they claim, were meant to be peaceful, a way to express frustration and demand engagement. However, as the protest unfolded, the situation reportedly escalated. Eyewitnesses alleged that security forces intervened, leading to the arrest of several students. Since then, reports have circulated that some of those arrested were taken into custody and may be facing detention or legal charges. It is important to state clearly that official statements from authorities are still limited and details remain contested. Some officials maintain that arrests were made to maintain public order, while student groups argue that the response was excessive and punitive. This difference in narratives is at the heart of the controversy. For many Nigerians, the idea of students being jailed for protesting raises uncomfortable questions. Universities have historically been spaces where young people learn not only academics, but also civic responsibility, debate, and engagement with societal issues. When students protest, it is often because they feel other avenues of communication have failed. That is why this situation has struck a nerve. Parents are worried, fellow students are anxious, and human rights advocates are asking whether due process is being followed. At the same time, others argue that protests must remain within the bounds of the law and that authorities have a responsibility to prevent disruption or damage. This is the tension that often defines such moments. The balance between maintaining order and protecting the right to peaceful expression. What complicates matters further is the lack of clear, transparent communication. When information is scarce, rumors spread quickly. Some reports exaggerate events, others downplay them. In this environment, it becomes difficult for the public to know what is true, what is false, and what still needs investigation. That is why responsible reporting matters. What we can say with certainty is this: students in Ekpoma are frightened, families want answers, and the situation has moved beyond a simple campus protest into a broader discussion about rights, authority, and accountability. Observers are calling for calm on all sides. They are urging students to avoid violence or destruction. They are urging authorities to exercise restraint and ensure that any actions taken are lawful, proportionate, and transparent. And they are urging dialogue. Because once situations reach the point of arrests and jail cells, trust erodes rapidly. There are also legal questions being raised. Were the students formally charged? Were they granted access to legal counsel? Are they being held in accordance with the law? These are questions that demand clear answers, not silence. Historically, moments like these often define relationships between institutions and their students for years to come. How authorities respond now will shape trust, cooperation, and stability moving forward.